Hi guys, it's me, it's Tiffany. You're here for Tiffany's Epiphanies. Ta-da! So, I had a little moment last week, and I've been known to have moments before. Moments are sort of something that I go through often. But this moment I can only describe as divinely inspired because it was so out of character and so out of my frame of reference to even consider something like this that I can only explain that God put this thought into my head because truly it was nothing in the 15,000 days I have been alive on earth that I have ever thought ever before this day. So I was going through a little moment, feeling like I needed to do more to contribute to my family. And, we are going through a time where my husband used to work away, but now he's working home. And so our finances have changed slightly. And my contribution to our finances is ramping up a little bit more than it has been in the past. And so in a comment of, well, it seems like you get to just do whatever you want, I decided to consider how I could do what I wanted and still get paid for it. And then I woke up one morning and thought I should join the military, which those of you who know me, this is so bizarre and so out there that it's really, really not who I am. But in the matter of 24 hours, I truly was able to shift my perspective towards something that I have felt so strongly about for decades, like years and years, to a completely different way of looking at the same thing. So, the military, and I have been holding out on posting this because I don't want to offend anybody. And I don't have any issue with people who are in the military and that want to serve our country. And I honor, and, I have had military in my family, and this is not speaking out against the military at all. But I have been known in the past to feel very strongly about the military and even say things a very long time ago, like to my son, I would be okay if you came home and told me that you were gay. But if you came home and told me that you joined the military, we might have problems. So that kind of gives you a little bit of introspection into how I have felt in the past about armed forces. I don't agree with guns as a form of defense. I didn't agree with guns at all until I shot one, and I'm actually like a really good shot. And I was like, oh, this isn't so bad. But there was so much about it that I couldn't even wrap my head around understanding it from any other point of view other than the way I had always thought. Until that day, that morning, I woke up and I thought, wow, okay, join the military. It's like a family. It's like they would pay me to get fit and healthy and strong and go to the gym. I'm suddenly a morning person, so waking up at the crack of dawn wouldn't really be putting me out. It would be something that I could work and get a degree in psychology and help the people from the inside. I could shine my light and bust it out from the inside, and help people through my skills and ability of channeling, dealing with PTSD and addiction and violence and, all of this trauma and repressed emotions and all this stuff. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is totally what I want to do. This is exactly what I want to do. I want to travel to exotic places. Perspective, sometimes the places that they go aren't really that great. And I want to be a peacekeeper. And the Canadian military is so focused on, keeping peace and being that level around the world, Anyway, so come to find out that I don't have a degree already, so I can't study social work as a captain. And I definitely don't have pre-calculus 12 math. And the year and a half it would take me to actually get pre-calculus math to even apply for the position I was looking at didn't really seem like what I was going to do at this point. But the lesson in all of this was that it had nothing to do with whether or not I would join the military. Really, I spent a whole day. I wrote a pros and cons list. I valued my pros. I had a list of pros like a page long, and I had 3 cons. And when I looked at my cons and I actually looked at them from a different perspective, I was like, well, they're not even really cons, because I don't even believe in that anymore. So it was really interesting. And I believe that divine put that in my head on that day, not so that I would join the military, but so that I would release any limitation that I have of saying, I'm never going to do this, or this is not for me, or this avenue is something that I'm totally against. And it's about releasing anything that is keeping you limited. So again, we talk about these always, never, every day, all the time words that keep us restricted when we should be letting go of those things. It's not always, it's not every time, it's not never. It is, you never know when it's going to turn around and be something totally different than you expected. So it was a really big lesson. It was a really incredible thing. I mean, my son looked at me the morning that I told him and said, I just have to tell you, I think you're the biggest hypocrite I know. Because of course I have told him contradictory things his whole life. And then for me to see the light and feel so differently about it. And then when I explained all of the things to him, he actually went away to school and he came back home and he said, if this is what you want to do, I will be your number one supporter. So for him, it was able to shift his perspective too, just even about how I have said something one way for a really long time. But when you learn something new, you are able to shift your beliefs and you are able to make new decisions. And that's about anything that you believe. That's about, let's talk about difficult things here. That's about racism. That's about the things that we see that are completely unfair. In any moment, we are able to rise above those things and offer ourselves in love. Okay, that's my epiphany. I love you. I hope that you have a great week. Ciao.